Hey guys, we're going to jump into the video in just a second, but I want to make an official announcement that I am going to be doing my vlogs every other week. This is just to practice some pace in my own life with how hectic my summer schedule has been, and going forward in my last year of school, I just decided that one vlog a week was just a lot to get done. I want to give you guys quality content, and so in order for that to happen, in order for me not to feel rushed and actually take time to prepare and maybe plan ahead a little bit more, every other week my vlogs will be going up on YouTube. So if you don't follow me on social media, make sure you do so: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, to follow on all the updates of when I'm posting, what's getting posted, all that cool stuff. So yeah, that's my little announcement. Thank you guys so much. What's up, guys? So I'm just getting ready to go shoot my first ever concert. Yeah, I'm really nervous, really stressed, really excited for the opportunity. Big shout out to my bosses at iHeartMedia for giving me this opportunity. I'm going to be going to the 21 Pilots concert, the free concert that they are putting on for the MLB All-Star Games, and doing some social media for some of our stations, and then also hopefully getting some good pictures. So I've never shot a concert before. I literally have spent like the past 3 days like trying to prep, trying to like lint roll myself here, trying to prep myself with like information, like what you need to know, what to do, what not to do, kind of stuff like that. This is a little bit different because the venue is outside, and it's also probably going to be transitioning from daytime to nighttime, the time it starts versus the time it ends, so gonna have to be adjusting for that. Was told that my media pass is only good for the first 3 songs, so I'm kind of confused about what that means for me after the 3 songs are over. Like, okay, hypothetically they're gonna kick me out of the pit, and then like, can I go in the audience and still shoot photos, or am I not allowed to do that? I don't like want to make anyone mad, but no one's really telling me like what I'm allowed to do, not allowed to do. So this is really gonna be like a learn as I go type of deal. And we're just gonna freaking see what happens, because I don't have a lot of information. I haven't been able to see the venue because you're not allowed in there. I generally know like where the stage is set up, but I haven't actually seen it. I have no idea how big it is, how many people are gonna be there, because this is like something where you had to buy tickets beforehand, even though it's free. Not buy, but get tickets. So I have no idea how many tickets they gave out to people, so no idea what to expect. Really going in blind here. I tried to prep as much as I could. I'm feeling like really ill-equipped, but I keep telling myself like God would not give me an opportunity that I am not prepared for, if you're wondering what I'm doing rolling my sleeves. But yeah, so I'm trying to like keep a positive mind, but I've been really stressed out since like Wednesday. I've been like dreaming at night about like scenarios, about this concert, so it's really like been on my mind. I wish I had like another lens, because right now all I have is my 50mm and my kit lens, which is like the 18-55, which is not really ideal for low light, but it's a zoom lens. And I didn't really have time to buy or like rent, because everything with this was like really kind of last minute. So I really am just making work and use in best scenario of the things that I have, which is not a lot. But yeah, so this is like a really big opportunity for me, not only, with iHeart, but also as like a photographer. I don't want to waste it, because like the amount of people that would kill to even be at the 21 Pilots concert, and then the amount of photographers that would kill to shoot it. I don't, I'm not at all taking this for granted, or this opportunity as not a big deal, because it really is. So I'm putting like a lot of pressure on myself, which is normal for me, but there's like an added pressure of like not messing this up, not wasting it. So pretty much, if you're wondering what's gonna happen, my game plan right now, which is not ideal, but making work, you know, with what I got, is to have my phone in my left hand, doing some like live streams for like Kiss FM. I'm gonna have to be going on my phone inadvertently to like post like a story or like on Twitter or something like that, but mainly once the concert starts, I want to do like a live stream for everyone who was not able to get a ticket. They can still kind of experience it, and then have my camera in my right hand. So pray for me that this works and like goes well. I'm like been praying so hard, but yeah, so really big opportunity. I just like, I'm thinking about doing a vlog on this, if that's okay with, you know, my bosses at iHeart after the fact. So just wanted to give you guys, like, this is like the before, maybe trying to give you some of the during, and then I'll give you some of the after. So yeah, hopefully all goes well, and we'll see what we got. What's up, guys? Another little before video. It's looking a little gray outside. I'm praying to God it doesn't rain right now, or while I'm there, to be exact. So yeah, doing like a rundown, like a checklist right now. So maybe you can see in here a little bit. Sorry, I have like my phone plugged in because I'm trying to charge it to full capacity before I go. But yeah, so I have that lens I was telling you guys about, the 18 to 55 here. Not like ideal for this concert shooting, but gotta make use of what I have. And then here I have my 50 millimeter. It's the 1.8. I know like the 1.4 is better, but it's also more money. I have like my lens hoods in case I need to deflect some light. Yeah, necessities, deodorant, because it is hot as heck right now out there. And also, a lot of people told me, thank you to everyone, shout out to Black with No Cream Facebook group. Y'all were like super helpful, sent me some really good suggestions, tips, links. So yeah, so these are earplugs that my dad gave me. Shout out to you, Dad, thank you for the earplugs. Yeah, and then we got, let's see, so we have lenses. Lenses are good, right? I'm gonna set that down, gotta unzip this. So then we also got the battery in my camera, and I have two other batteries like that, battery chargers, not that there's probably gonna be any freaking outlets if I needed them. And then I have, listen y'all, I am not messing around with like SD cards, okay? So I have a 128 in my camera, and then I have a 64 gigabyte and a 32 gigabyte. So, so I'm packed. So we got 3 batteries, 3 SD cards, 2 lenses, and a freaking partridge in a pear tree. Y'all feel? Okay. I'm getting stressed. Like, the closer it gets to me leaving my apartment to walk down there, the more stressed I'm getting. Also, like, praying it, like, doesn't rain on me because I'm planning on walking down there. So, yeah. I'm not able to pick up my media pass until 5, but we're apparently doing a live stream, which I didn't know until this morning at, like, 3. So I have to head down there, help one of my coworkers out with that. Never been a part of a live broadcast before. Not live stream, a live broadcast. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's at 3. And then can pick my media badge up at 5. And then the gates open at 6. And then show starts at 8. Welshie Arms is opening, so I think they're opening at 8 would be my guess. Here again, I don't have a lot of details. Also taking a bottle of water, sealed bottle of water, because that's all that's allowed in. Hopefully I don't have to buy one, but I have a feeling I will, because that's a lot of hours for me to go on one bottle of water. Also, though, don't really have time to be peeing. Just saying. So, yeah, so that's like part 2 of the before. Yeah, we'll see how this thing goes, guys. Goes, guys? That doesn't make sense. We'll see how this thing goes, comma, guys. Women, children, everyone watching this. I'm stressed, y'all. Like, this is real stress right here. I do not get me wrong. I am hype as heck to be doing this. But until I'm, like, successfully getting, you know, social posts out and photos taken, I'm gonna be stressed, okay? So pray for your girl. Hopefully this goes well. Hey everyone, so as you can see, I'm out here stage is behind me, being wet from the fountain. Let's see if we can get this media pass early. Fingers crossed I even know what building to go in. Okay guys, I'm currently in the convention center. I did get my credentials. They were super nice. It was super easy to get. I just got my all access and then I got my media pass. So we are good to go there. Currently waiting to find my coworker and figure out what's going on. They did shut down the Playball Park outside because there was some threats of like lightning and thunder in the area. So I don't know when they're going to reopen those. But yeah, currently sitting here behind me is some of what's going on down here in the convention center. So yeah. Hey everyone, I don't know if you can hear me right now, but I'm currently inside Playball Park in this little teeny tiny room called the Quiet Room. I'm just trying to charge my phone before the show tonight. I ended up doing some work for WTAM 1100. They were doing a live broadcast here, and so I ended up getting put on their Facebook and did a live video and some posts, so my phone is not looking too hot for the concert, but I have a charger. I'm charging it. Really good music here. A lot going on. A lot of people running socials for KISS FM, WMMS, and Alt, and like I said, WTAM. So really busy. Haven't whipped my camera out yet. Not time for that yet, but been on the phone, been busy. So far, things are going good. I'm calming down as I'm here, but I'm sure around 5 o'clock I'll get stressed out again. But yeah, so this is the during. I'll keep you all updated. Okay, so media pass for an outdoor venue is a little tricky. I went to the wrong side, so now I have to walk all the way around. I came out on the opposite side of the convention center than I thought I went in. Whoops. So yeah, so now I have to like walk around the street. See, this is why we check in early, because I didn't know where to go. So hopefully I get to the right spot and I can get in and figure out what I'm doing. So as you guys just saw, I was not told where to go to check in. So I have my media pass and I go to one gate and they're like, we can't let you in. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll walk around the other side of the building. Walk to the other side of the building and I get there and there's, you know, security working and they're already starting to scan some of the fans' tickets. I'm guessing that those were the VIP tickets to get in first or front row, however that worked. But I asked like 2 or 3 people there, like, where am I supposed to go to check in, or like, where am I supposed to go, period, and nobody knew. So literally as the second or third guy I'm asking is telling me that he can't help me, like he doesn't know where to send me, I see a man walking with a group of 4 or 5 people behind him, and they all have cameras, and I was like, okay, gotta go. So I literally, they're walking like towards the gate for the concert venue, so I hop in the back of their pack and I just follow them right in, and I was like, okay, like I don't know who these people are, and I think they're media because they all have cameras. It was a safe assumption, right? So we walk in, and the way that the pit was set up was literally like down the middle, like was a huge like yellow, bright yellow, like some sort of padding down on the concrete. And then so as a media pass, we found out that we had access to that full length in between the barricades. So it was like an aisleway in between 2 sides of the barricades. And then the front, of course. So it was almost like a T, if you want to think of it like that. Like a capital T is how this particular like media pit was set up. So we get to the long part of the T where that yellow stuff is that I'm describing. And the guy who was leading the group turns around and he sees me, and his face was just priceless because he's like, wait, like, where'd you come from? Like, you weren't here before. And so I was like dead honest. I was like, I saw people with cameras, so I followed. And as I'm like picking up my media pass and like showing him, and of course like I had my camera on me already anyway, and I picked up my media badge and I was like, hey, do you guys know any more information about like what this entails or like whatever? And the people like giving me the credentials were like, no, like we don't know. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is, as I said, you know, in that video, I was like, this is literally learn as I go. So what ended up happening was we were in the pit for about 2 hours before the concert started, and we weren't supposed to be in there that early. So apparently that guy who escorted these people in there, he wasn't supposed to bring them in quite so soon because they were still setting up like final stage and like electrical and like whatever needed done, sound checks for the band. So we were in there like when they were all doing that, because the one guy came over and he's like, well, you guys really aren't supposed to be in here, but like, nah, okay. So it gave me like time though to like kind of feel out the stage setup. And also it was nice because I got to talk to the fans once they came through on each side of the barricade. So it was nice to like get to interact with them. I took some like social media stories. And, you know, because these people have been waiting in line all day and, like, now they're waiting, you know, an hour and a half with you until the show starts. So you have some, like, downtime to, like, talk with them. So then we get some very important and, for me, long-awaited information about what this media pass actually entails. So if any of you have ever shot a concert or looked into shooting a concert, you are all familiar with the 3-song rule. For those of you who aren't photographers, you're like, what the heck is that? Pretty much what that means is the band's management has allowed anyone in that media pit to photograph the first 3 songs. After that, you are out of there, which is very typical in most scenarios, unless like the artist is really small at a really small venue or you are directly hired by the band. So like, let's say someone hired by 21 Pilots to be their photographer. They're probably not going to have that 3-song rule because the band has specifically hired them. But also what they can do with those pictures and when they can, you know, post or publish those photos is like a whole different ballgame because now you're working for the band directly. So, but us as outside media, you get 3 songs. So I had heard about this rule in like my research for and prepping for this concert, but that was what ended up being the case. The same was for the opener, Welshly Arms, which was fine. It just puts more pressure on, you know, me as a very brand new concert photographer, I guess I am now, to get shots because you are on a limited time frame, first 3 songs, and then that's like all you have. So I also then found out that while in the media pit, you know, during the shows, we were not allowed to be on our phones, which meant that I was sent there to do social media and like photography, but now I was not going to be able to do any social media. So I am trying to figure out the best way to do this because I didn't want to like disappoint my bosses who had sent me. I didn't want to like not have content for the stations. So I tried to do as much like pre-concert as I could because I didn't know once the concert started, like what I was going to do, but I was not allowed to be on my phone. So what that pretty much meant and looked like was, you know, Welshly Arms came out, you shoot the first 3, which for them, the lighting was like spectacular because it was like just, the sun was just like behind the buildings. So there was like really good natural light, but like no harsh sun or anything. And they didn't have any stage lights. They didn't have any like special effects. It was just them like playing their music. So photographing them was like really, I don't want to say it was easy because it's not ever easy, but I'm saying lighting wise, it was easy. And to me, it like made me feel more like confident in myself, which is what I needed at that point. So we just sat through the rest of the Welshly Arms set because, you know, like what else are you going to do? And I'm thinking the whole time, like, okay, I really want to get like a live video of the first 21 Pilots song, but I don't know how to do that. Well, in the span of about 2 hours that we were in there with the fans on the barricades, I got to know these 2 girls and their moms like really well. And like we were talking, there was like a water cart going up and down and I like got them a water because I had easier access to like hand him money rather than them like waiting on him. I didn't do that for a lot of people because that's the thing, like I learned being in that situation when you're in between 2 like long lines of people on either side of you, people will literally be like waving money in your face to like go get them a water, which like you want to like be nice and do, but like you can't end up doing that for everyone because like that's not what you're there for. And it's hard for me, especially because I like feel bad for people, and I know how hot it is. I know like how much like people want water. There was like someone I think who did end up passing out at some point, even before the show started. So like I know, but you at the same time have to, you know, realize like that's not what you're there for. You can do it for a couple people, but that's the problem is like once you do it for one person, then someone will be like, why aren't you getting me water? And all that stuff. So anyway, try to steer clear of when the water cart man comes up the aisle because it's too crazy. But anyway, so I ended up getting them water though, because I had now formed like a relationship with them. I was like talking to them, like, where are they from? Everything like that. Took a like group picture or two of them. And so the mom ends up telling me right before the 21 Pilots concert comes on that she, her phone was dead. And I was like, okay, this is perfect opportunity, because I had kind of joked about this to one of the other photographers from the Indians, but I ended up doing it seriously. So what I did, because I wasn't allowed to be on my phone, but the crowd was, you know, of course allowed to be on theirs, I handed her my phone and I put it on Instagram live mode for Kiss FM. And I had her hold my phone for the first song of 21 Pilots while I was down, you know, in the front and stuff, taking pictures. So I got that. And just like a side note story to that, at the end, or after we were escorted out of the media pit, like some of us went back onto the grass, which I'll show you kind of what came of that spot for me. But you know, blended in with like the general public. And one of the guys from Q104, who was not with iHeart, but just with another, you know, radio station, he somehow like found me because he was in the pit. And once I was in the grass, and he's like, that was really good thinking. He's like, that was so smart of you to have her hold your phone. He's like, I should have thought of that. He's like, I didn't even think about that. So I was like, well, yeah, you know, you just have to like be resourceful and like know like who's around you, and, you know, just pay attention. I kind of said like the same things, from, if you watch my, Kiss the Summer Hello recap vlog, you know, it's the same thing. You just got to be observant, know who's around you, know who is who. Like that guy that got me in with the other photographers, like, it's just about being like attentive to like, you know, who, is doing what. And who's saying what. And, you know, when she said her phone was dead, I knew she couldn't be on her phone taking video, so I knew her hands were going to be free. So, it's, you know, I got them water, I took some pictures of them, I had been talking to them, and, you know, for me to ask her to hold my phone for one, like, song, yeah, you know, you just do what you got to do and make work with, you know, what you have, and all is well. So we got a live video, so I was happy about that. I felt accomplished.
Well, guys, all went well. Got my camera on me, just taking some shots. You can see Terminal Tower behind me, really freaking pretty, for the All-Star game. So yeah, just headed home, but everything went well. A lot better than I expected. I actually couldn't have my phone on me in the pit, so I just was taking pictures anyway. I'm excited to talk a little bit more about what I did, but I'll do it when I have some better lighting. But all in all is well. Concert was great. Really dope experience.
All right, so let's get into actually shooting the 21 Pilots portion of the concert. Overall, and I've never shot, like I said, a concert. I've never shot any sort of concert, a small one, a big one, like nothing. I will venture to say that based in my other concert going experiences, just from, you know, being, you know, in the crowd, that 21 Pilots has some of the most abstract and difficult lighting for a photographer. It is freaking awesome as an observer. Like, their light guy, like, I hope he gets paid really well, because it was a great show. And in addition to the show, like the different colors and like how they came on, when they came on, like all of that is very intricate, and like that in itself is like a creative art, and I respect that. As a photographer though, that is some of the harshest and hardest lighting, because 1 minute it is dark, so you're like, okay, so I got to turn the shutter speed, you know, like get more light in here because it's so dark. And then next second, like millisecond, it's like whoosh, red light, and then back to dark, and then whoosh, purple and green light, and then back to dark. And you're just like, oh my finger the entire time I was shooting those first 3 songs, I was just on the shutter speed button, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because and the thing with concert photography is like, you have to take the time to like glance at the photo to see if you're getting anything good, like if you're overexposed, if you're underexposed, like real quick. But that's the key, real quick, because you do not have the time to stand there and be like, oh, like, is this in focus? Like, is this whatever? Like, I learned like a lot in just researching some YouTube videos about like concert photography. So I learned certain things, like you want to have, you know, your focus in autofocus, because if you're trying to do manual like at the same time, no. But yeah, mainly have it in auto focus, and you want like the lowest possible f-stop. I was mainly shooting with my 50mm, which I showed you guys in that previous video before I even left my apartment. Some people will say it's not good for concert photography. Others will say they love it. I'm going to go for I really love it. I'm not saying that there's not a better lens out there. I'm not saying that there's not a bigger zoom lens out there. But I will say that if you are like me and you don't have a lot of equipment yet, and you know, you don't have all the money in the world, that shooting a concert on a 50, especially in a situation like that where it was an outdoor venue, I had that whole front, like I said, it was like a T, like a capital T. So I had this whole front, I could go up the back. You can like adjust yourself. I will say, like, maybe if you are in an indoor venue and the only spot for media is right in the front, of course, because the 50 is not a wide angle and because it is not a zoom, that may be difficult for you to not be cutting off, you know, like the singer's head or something, because you're like so close to them and you can't really back up. So I will say that. But for image quality, and I'm going to show you guys some images here, I think that it did a fantastic job. You know what I mean? And so first 3 songs went really fast. It always does. I tried to grab some crowd pictures too. I think only like 2 of them came out, because there was like really harsh lights on the crowd. But then when I would like turn back around to try to take a picture of like the stage, I was like underexposed. So it was very hard to like, because it was almost like 2 different worlds with how different the lightings were. It was really hard for me to get a lot of crowd photos, and I did want to take advantage of, you know, being right there with the band to take those. So overall, it went way better than I expected from myself, from my like equipment. As anyone who knows me well, that I talked to in like those couple days leading up to the concert, I was very stressed out, and that's not because I didn't want to do it, but it's because of just a couple facts. Never shooting a concert before, and being a new photographer in general, I felt very unequipped. I felt very like, I can't believe I was chosen for this, because like I'm like the least qualified person I know. But there again, it's about grabbing hold of the opportunity, and I made work, you know, with the equipment I had. I made do with the skill set I had. I prepped as much as I possibly could. I was like watching videos. I was watching like concert footage, all this stuff on YouTube. I was like asking people in the Black with No Cream Facebook group that I'm a part of, other creatives, like what their recommendations were, which is when someone told me about the earplugs. So shout out to them. Thank you. Just little things like that like you don't think about. I really did prepare the best I knew how. I did not want to waste this opportunity. Like I said, it was an honor that iHeart even sent me to photograph the concert and do social media for the stations. And I did not want to waste any portion of what that media credential gave me. So to finish off the night, I just went back on the grass. I was like stage, if you were like facing the stage, I was like on the right side of the grass, and I took some shots from there. Not many of them turned out because I was farther away, but I did get this really cool drum shot of the drummer with the play ball park in the background. And honestly, like I said, this wasn't even when I was in the media pit, but this is one of my favorite photos from the night. And there again, like I didn't have a super zoom lens that was taken on my 50mm. So I want to like end this video again by saying like thank you to iHeart for the opportunity. I want to say thank you also to like everyone in my life who I just mentioned who was helping me and you know, dealing with me being so stressed about this opportunity. But also I want to say to any of you watching, whether you're a photographer or not, there are going to be times in your life that you have the opportunity to do something so completely awesome that you feel completely unready for, and I want you to know that that's okay. And you know, I don't have the best camera body, I don't have the best lenses, I don't even have the best like photography knowledge, but I honestly believe this, that like if you are in that position, you are in that position for a reason, and all you can do is steward it well. And I think and I hope that that's what I did, and I hope that there's another opportunity like this. So yeah, I got to shoot my first concert, and it was for one of the biggest bands in pop culture right now, and I'm very lucky, I'm very grateful, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that experience. I hope you guys like the photos. I'll be posting some on my social media too. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, anything for me, please be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. That is always good on YouTube. And if you have not, please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and talking about just all other things in life. So with that being said, I thank you guys so much for taking the time out to watch, and I will see you next time.